Okay, man, appreciate you guys waiting around a little bit and everything, but, again, I just talking with Chris there and stuff, so much respect for him and his staff and their program and what he's been able to build there at Texas Tech. Elite level program. When you talk about, some of the best programs in the country or the elite programs in the country, Texas Tech is right up there with the Carolinas, the Dukes. I mean, those guys, they know how to win, they know how to compete, and, we really try to work hard to try to match those guys' effort, their toughness that they have, and we were going to try to value taking care of the ball because they're one of the best defensive teams in the country and do a great job of taking charges. I said to our guys prior to the game that this is the first step of a marathon and a journey of a season for us. And whether we get off to a good start or a bad start, we have to learn to work the game. And we're playing October the 12th. It feels like a regular season game already. And 8-9 years ago, October the 15th was the first day of practice. So we, Chris and I both know that this is an early, competitive situation for us, and we have to continue to build and continue to get better, and we will. We're going to go back to work on Monday and start, continue to try to get better in the areas we need to get better with. With 13 turnovers in the first half, and we have to do a better job of valuing taking care of the ball, and we finished with 22 for the game, but early in the year, you kind of expect that a little bit in terms of guys getting familiar with playing with each other and under duress situations, and we knew tonight we were going to play a team that was going to try to force us to take care of the basketball.
Coach, though, you were so much better at it the last 10 minutes. I think one turnover in the last 10 minutes, 21 in the first 30. What changed then?
Well, I thought Jordan and those guys settled down a little bit, And, when you play an elite level program and team like Texas Tech, you can't try to make home run plays. You got to make simple plays, and you have to do what you practice, and try to execute the things that you're trying to get done, And we wanted to really try to play inside out, and I thought our big guys did a great job of locating the middle. We knew we were going to get a baseline trap from those guys, and I thought we did a nice job. When they didn't have an opportunity to score, I thought they did a great job of kicking it out, And once we were able to do that and take care of the ball a little bit for that stretch there, we also started guarding a little bit better. We started putting a couple of consecutive stops together, and I think we're a +9 on the glass against a really good rebounding team, which is huge. But we're going to have to continue to get better with taking care of the ball, so we don't beat ourselves.
Where does this rank for you in terms of wins? I know it's the exhibition, but you beat the teams who were runners-up in the national championship and handily too.
Well, I just talking with Chris just a second ago, that they're a program that know how to win already. We're trying to teach our guys how to win. And whether it's a competitive drill in practice, putting together a game against an elite level program and trying to win. We knew it was going to be a difficult challenge for us tonight, but I thought our guys had great effort. I thought they didn't play perfect, but I thought they really tried to do the things we asked them to do to a fault at times. And when you do that, you give yourself a chance to win, even when you make some mistakes and you kind of just really focusing and honing on what you want to do and how you want to do it. But we're just a program building and learning how to win, and we're going to continue to try to do that. It's a big step for us.
Both halves, you're a whole lot better with Edwards in. I think his plus-minus was probably about +30.
Well, Daryl's a guy that, guys are going to have to guard, and you get to know where he's at all times, a lot like Moretti. You give Moretti an open look, and it's going to be a basket likewise, and he does a great job even when he's not scoring and he's off the ball. He spaces the floor for you, because we got inside guys that we know can score the basketball, but when you put another shooter out there, and we kind of went through a lull a little bit in the first half when we didn't have him on the floor with fouls. And Sule Boone likewise. Sule didn't have a great scoring game tonight, but he's a guy that can score the basketball. And I thought Nigel Hawkins, started the game and started the half, giving us good minutes likewise and stuff. But Daryl gives us a guy that can space the floor. You need guys that can make shots and contested shots, open shots. He's a guy that definitely can do that for us at an elite level.
In terms of rotation, minutes, Bryson with 35 as well as Jordan with 34 minutes. In terms of that and minutes, how straight up did you like this exhibition game, would you say?
See you later, Rod.
Chris, good luck, buddy.
Tell about that time you were at Angleton High School and I tried to recruit that kid.
Kevin Davis, he was at the game
You
tonight.
said you helped me, but we didn't get him.
And you didn't get that guy.
See everybody, man. See you later.
Be safe, Coach.
Hey, class guy, I've known Chris 20 plus years. You know, we met. First time I did have a player, he was coming down to recruit when he was coaching at an incarnate word, and you know, Kevin opted to go somewhere else, and he never let me forget that, you know, stuff. But you talk about one of the best coaches in the country. Chris is one of the best coaches in the country, and obviously has taken this program to a whole nother level. But you were talking about rotation. You were talking about guys having an opportunity to play. You know, my whole thing with that is, you know, we're going to try to play as many guys as we can, and you know, we're trying to build depth, and we're trying to build quality depth. You know, where guys come in, we don't have a drop off. You know, and we'll continue to do that as the season continues to go, you know. And there were guys tonight that didn't get as much opportunities. They will get a lot of opportunities moving forward in the future. They have to just continue to stay the course, continue to work, and we're going to need every single guy on our roster that suits up to play for us. And so, you know, the thing that I try to instill in those guys is stay ready. You know, when your opportunity or your number's called, come in and do your job at an elite level for us, and you know, then pass the baton to the next guy and let him do that, you know, and it will continue to build that as it continues to go, and guys gonna get opportunities to get in, and we'll look at different combinations. We have a lot of guys that didn't get a chance to play with each other a year ago, and you know, as a coaching staff, we have to continue to mold and blend our team to where we have a good nucleus of guys that we know we can count on every night.
22 turnovers, Coach, against the runner-up from last year's tournament. You know, normally you would feel that you wouldn't have, you know, turning the ball over that much. You'd have a harder time to beat them. What was the difference?
Well, I mean, it really slowed us in the first half. We had 13 turnovers in the first half, you know, and a lot of those were very self-inflicted. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Chris and what they do defensively. We know they were going to switch. We knew that they were going to be a team that rotated over heavy to the middle and looked to take charges and things of that nature. You have to make 2-foot plays, but again, just making the simple plays. Just executing what we try to call and believing in that it works, and trusting, you know, your teammates, trusting the system in terms of what we're trying to get done. I thought once we settled in and tried to do that and really concentrated and locked into that, I thought we were much better with our execution doing that.
A lot of steals too tonight.
Well, I thought we played really hard defensively. I think there's still obviously room for us to continue to grow. We held those guys to 31%, you know, and those are good one-on-one players over there now. I mean, Edwards is going to be a really good player in the Big 12. We know Loretti's a great player in the Big 12 already, and Ramsey is a five-star kid that has a chance to be one and done. He's a great one-on-one player as a young player, so we knew we were going to have our hands full with their perimeter players and even their bigs. We knew they could drive the basketball, and they were mobile guys that can move and also be threats as well. So, you know, every position we had to try to sit down and guard hard.
Coach, going back to the rotations in the second half, it seems like you didn't substitute as much, or there wasn't many players in that rotation. Was it just were you trying to mimic a more of a real game experience and possibly just wanting to get your best players out there to get the win?
Well, I thought we got into a pretty good groove, you know, in terms of the guys we had on the floor and what we were trying to do both offensively and defensively. And, you know, anytime you're a competitive person, you know, Chris is highly competitive, and, you know, obviously, you know, we're playing a charity game and for great cause, obviously, and things of that nature there. But you want to win too, and for us, you know, every competitive situation matters for us because we're still trying to learn how to win. You know, he has a program that knows how to win at an elite level. So, you know, every 4 minutes, you know, we were trying to compete as hard as we could when we were on the floor. And, you know, we found a group out there that had pretty good continuity, and they got into a really good groove. And so we just kind of played with that group for a little bit. You know, I thought Effie came in and gave us a great lift there to start the second half as well, when we went with he and Bryson together as well. So, you know, there are going to be opportunities every night. I think the best teams, you know, and the hardest teams to guard are teams that on any given night you have a different guy that can lead you in scoring. And I think our team this year, you know, could be built that way where on any given night it could be any different guy that leads you in scoring, and you got to be able to be concerned about everybody on the roster, not just one guy, two guys.
Between now and November, what is the biggest step that this team needs to take in order for game ready, regular season game number one?
Well, again, I take that we have to continue to work on our fundamentals. I mean, we have to continue to be a team that values taking care of the basketball, you know, passing, dribbling, continue to obviously work on our shooting, but defensively continue to take pride in that and understand defense wins games for you. We just played a program tonight that embodies all of that in terms of understanding. You're one of the best defensive teams in the country. You're probably one of the top teams in the country. So we have to continue to buy into that aspect. We'll figure out how to score and what we have to try to do offensively, but just buying into trying to be the toughest team playing on that given night and trying to outcompete your opponent.
Coach, great win today. I'm sure they're all proud. How long do you let the kids feel themselves before you you have to reel them back in and say, look, this is an exhibition game, long way to go?
Well, again, this is a marathon. It's one step to our journey. We know tomorrow is a day for us, and on Sundays we really try to concentrate academically and get ourselves ready for the week academically. And obviously we'll get a chance to learn a lot from this tape. Once we get a chance to watch it and break it down in a number of different areas that we have to continue to improve. I know the game tonight felt like a regular season game, but we've got a lot of things to work on and continue to get better with, and our guys know that, so we got to go back to the drawing board and continue to work. And we're playing against a team that's coming Saturday that is another elite level team and one of the top teams in their conference. So in a year ago, we know they just kind of had their way with us likewise. So, we have to continue to get better every single day. And I think our guys are focused and understand that. And, again, tonight we were able to work hard and compete against one of the top teams. I think in the country, I think Texas Tech is going to be a really, really good team in the Big 12. I think they're extremely well coached. And, like I said before, we have tremendous respect for them and their program.
Coach, on the little things, one of the things that jumped out at me today was a lot of traveling calls. Is that something a little bit lax during practice, maybe?
No, I don't think it's a matter of lax during practice. Obviously you're a creature of habits in terms of what you do and how you do it, but we have to hone in on the fundamentals, and that's just fundamental taking care of the basketball and not beating yourself and understand you have to value every possession, because we're going to work extremely hard defensively. We can't come down and give the ball right back away after we work so hard to do that. And that's the thing that we'll learn from a lot of that and those self-inflicted turnovers especially.
Last year you said you were working, you wanted to make sure that the fans understood that you were rebuilding the 57 Chevy. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, no, again, we still have a lot of work to do, and again, we're just getting started. It's the first step, and we're going to continue to work hard every day and every night, and really, again, try to put this program together where guys understand, and again, being at home is not enough. You got to come out and compete your opponent when you're at home and when you're on the road. So just again, I think we have. I like our team. I like our guys. There's not one guy when I come into practice that I don't like, and I think we have a lot of good young players that still have to continue to develop both on and off the court. And as we do that, and we're able to keep this group together, I think they have a very high ceiling as a team.
Take one more question.
El Paso's strong. We talked about, what this game was for. I know you thought your heart goes out. We were together on August 3rd, I remember, at my show when when it was happening. But what a special night for you, for your team, and for the city of El Paso.
No, absolutely. It's a tragic, situation that occurred in our community. We have one of the best communities in the country in terms of people and how we respect one another and treat one another. I haven't been in a nicer community in terms of the way people treat each other, and when something like that happens, great cities, they rally, and this city's rallied so strong together, and again, just with the respect for one another and looking out for one another. And tonight was just a small token that we could try to give back to the victims that suffered losses in that tragic situation there, and hopefully we can give a little bit back to them in terms of a little bit of relief there, just a little bit, and we know that'll take years, and it'll take years for our community to really get over what really occurred, and we can just be a small part of that in terms of doing anything we can to give back. Even one night, just to kind of take their mind off of it and try to give great effort and great preparation and appreciation for this community. And we'll try to do that not only tonight, but the rest of this year.
All right, thank you.